Hello and welcome to Quartzlight. For today's Ford Friday, we're going to be looking at the Ford Fairmont Futura. Welcome back, and Quartzlight, if you're new, we're a car brochure channel looking at car brochures from around the world for the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s, sometimes beyond that as well. So if you're interested in cars or car brochures, please consider subscribing. Anyway, today's Friday. Every Friday we look at a Ford Friday we call it. And today's Ford is this, the Ford Fairmont Futura. Quite the mouthful, isn't it? Now, I'm no expert on American cars whatsoever, so I'm sure we'll learn something together in this particular brochure. It's dated 1981 for the 1982 model year. So let's have a look at that now. So here is today's brochure. Let's zoom in a little bit further, I think. On the top of the first page, or the cover, it's a 1982 Ford Fairmont Futura. Look out world, here comes Ford. So quite the mouthful, isn't it? Fairmont Futura, but Futura, like I say, was the sporty end, this two-door coupe, although weirdly, for the 1980 model year, Ford expanded the Futura nameplate to include the four-door sedan and added a Futura station wagon as well in 81, and then I think that the station wagon was kind of like absorbed into kind of like the Granada model line, and there isn't any station wagon showed in this particular brochure. So like I say, this Futura line started off being like a two-door coupe, and they expanded it to make it like the normal four-door sedan as well. So we do see this particular model, this two-door in this brochure, but we also see the four-door called the Futura as well. So almost like that Futura name didn't really mean a lot by this stage, really. But anyway, let's zoom in a little bit further and then we'll go inside the brochure itself. So a little bit of a zoom in, and unusual lines, very American obviously at the front there, and then this very unusual, try and make it into a bit of a coupe shape at the back. I don't know how I really feel about the overall dimensions, a little bit unusual for sure, but very 80s in its appearance. Anyway, let's open the brochure and learn a bit more about this model. So when we do turn the page, we do get that big four-door sedan, which I think I actually prefer the sort of dimensions of the sedan anyway. It looks a little bit nicer at the back, in my opinion anyway. The top it says Ford Fairmont Futura 482. And I guess one thing to mention is the quality of these brochures. They're not as good quality by a long way to the European Ford brochures. The paper is like really thin. That's something to note, that quality really isn't there. The Ford brochures were a lot nicer in Europe. You know, the quality of the paper was a lot nicer. But anyway, I'm witchering a little bit. So we've got these big overriders at the front, lots of lights. We've got twin headlights at the front now. These sorts of like fake wire wheels, you know, will just be a hubcap on there. Very American, isn't it? Just very much American styled. We'll look at the text at the top there and see if we can learn a little bit more about this model. So it starts by saying, a proven performer, Fairmont Futura. There's every reason to own this outstanding mid-size car. Its excellent economy, exceptional value, and the efficient way space is used for comfort and utility. Since its introduction, this popular Ford has been road tested over millions of miles by more than 1 million owners, value conscious people like yourself all across North America. Make it a point soon to take Futura on a test drive at your Ford dealer. Futura, it makes more sense than ever. Note on here telling us, above, that's the Futura four-door sedan in dark blue metallic, and the front cover is a Futura two-door coupe in red. No fancy names, unfortunately, for the paint, that is. So as we turn the page, we really get a nice view at this interior, really. And as I always think about these American cars, they do look a really nice vehicle to travel in, extremely comfortable. Never a big fan of the American wood they use, looks very fake, and look at this huge piece of switchgear that looks like more like something you have in your home. But nevertheless, let's have a look at some of these top pictures and a little bit more of this text. So right, dual bright remote control mirrors standard on 2-door coupe and 4-door sedan. Right centre, we've got some more images of these really nice looking seats. I do like the seats on these. It says lower back bucket seats in optional medium fawn cloth vinyl. Really, cloth and vinyl. I'm not sure about the vinyl side of that. And there is the interior, or the dash, very American, isn't it, with that fake wood on there. And then finally at the end it says attractive Futura instrument panel with full width high gloss wood tone appliques, four spoke steering wheel shown, part of the interior luxury group option, and we'll look at that later on. It tells us some specs at the end. And then that below it says interior luxury group option with flight bench and rear seats in Wedgwood blue velour. I must admit, I do miss all these colours on interiors. Makes a change, isn't it, from all the greys and blacks. And then we get some further information. Zoom in on this bottom picture. It's telling us this is polar white, although it looks a little bit silvery in the image, but it is white. So this is that coupe version with this strange window and this huge boot or trunk on there. Like I said, I think this is my least favourite of the models, because it even shows that you could get the Futura in a 2-door version. If I can manage to tune that in, it's a bit better. Yeah, you can also get it in a 2-door version. I think the 2-door version, if you wanted a 2-door, that looks far nicer than the coupe in my opinion, but there we go, that's just my opinion. So this is telling us this is in bright red. Again, it'd be nice to have some nicer names than that, but there we go. Right centre, the optional bench seats in sand vinyl. Again, vinyl, I'm not a huge fan of. And remember, this is like a mid-size car, so it's not really a particular luxury car, but look at those seats. They look very 70s, never mind 80s, don't they? But extremely comfortable. Of course, you get a big boot or trunk. It tells us left centre, the interior luxury group option with the flight bench seat in dark red velour. So you can get the velour with the luxury group, and velour is one of my favourite seat choices, I must admit. Left, new deep well trunk accommodates luggage or grocery bags in an upright position, and then just tells you, that's polar white, that main picture we looked at. Then we come to a page which is obviously very wordy, so we're not going to read all this, but top images, again we've got that 2-door coupe in white, the luxury option seats, and at the top here is your 4-door sedan in what it calls dark blue metallic. Like I say, very wordy, but I'm going to zoom in straight away where it says your choice of styles. It says consider Futura sedan in either its 2-door version, the most affordable model, or a 4-door, as handsome as it is comfortable, a car with high mileage and more than 3,000 litres of total interior space. This is the Futura sedan, by anyone's definition a very practical automobile. If sporty is your style, there's the attractive Futura 2-door coupe. It presents a silhouette that's long and low, sleekly contoured from the clean lined hood to the wraparound tail lamps, plus these special styling cues, the wrap over roof pillar design, diamond shaped quarter windows, canted windscreen and back window. This is the Futura coupe, a car of high style inside and out. Let's move on to the next page. Well, just before I do, I've just noticed at the end here, it kind of like describes the luxury group and what you got. So bucket seats or flight bench seats if you prefer, are upholstered in 2 rich fabrics, crushed velour bolsters and ultra soft velour seat inserts. That's got to be nicer than that not so nice vinyl seats, I'm sure. It goes on to tell us floor carpeting is a plush cut pile. The luxury 4-spoke steering wheel has hand-tone hub and rim inserts matching the instrument panel and door trim appliques. The package also includes carpeting in the luggage compartment and luxury sound insulation. And on the next page it gets more mechanical. We're going to start at the top where we're looking at like the suspension, etc., and the disc drum style brakes, and then at the bottom it starts talking about the engine choices, so we'll have a look at that as well. So it's telling us here 4-bar link rear suspension with coil springs, looks like drum brakes there as well, and then the disc brakes for the front. A little look at that engine. Let's see what it says. Oh, that's a 2.3, so that's a 2.3 overhead cam 4-cylinder engine for excellent fuel economy apparently. And then the final picture there is the McPherson strut type suspension with stabilizer bar. We learned there that that's that 2.3 litre 4-cylinder engine is kind of like your standard engine choice, but it does tell us at the bottom there's also this optional 3.3 litre 6-cylinder if you preferred a bit more power. Let's have a look at the next page. And then we get to the specification part. It's talking here about the notable standard features. Engineering is the title of this one. 3 models like we said, the 2-door sedans, 2-door coupe and that 4-door sedan. All this equipment here is what it's saying is being the standard equipment. You can pause that screen if you do want to read through all that. And then the exterior features, always optional, N is not applicable. So for example, the first column there is that 2-door sedan, which was like your cheapest model, and that came with what they refer to as deluxe wheel covers for that model, where the higher spec model had something called the turbine wheel covers. I think they're them sort of like, which look like wire wheels, you know, that sort of design. I think I prefer the standard ones, but there we go. Anyway, you can read through that if you really want to. And then it finishes off there with the interior, and all this equipment is standard on all 3 models. Okay, and then it moves on to the colours and trim. Very small writing, so I hope you can read it, but the exterior paint colours aren't bad. It's a shame there isn't a colour chart really, but we can have black, polar white, light pewter metallic, red, bright red, dark blue metallic, pastel blue, antique cream, dark cordovan metallic, not sure what that is, dark brown metallic fawn, medium vaquero glow, again no idea, and sand glow. And then you could get 5 interior trim colours of dark red, Wedgwood blue, medium fawn, vaquero again, sand. I'm probably pronouncing that vaquero completely wrong, I do apologise. But overall, quite a lot of colour choices and a lot of interior trim choices. It's a shame we don't get so much choice today. And then we get something called the Ford Fairmont Futura option selector. See what options we can get. So it starts off with this very basic looking entertainment system, which is telling us there are various options of this. This is a tape player with dual front rear speakers with this matching fake wood. We can also option air conditioning if we so desire, and it's telling us if you get the air conditioning it recommends you get tinted glass as well. And then moving on to D, and this is just basically telling you about the console really. So it features an electronic digital clock with elapsed time, date readouts, graphic display warning module. That's quite nice, that little graphics display module, isn't it? Some interesting little features on there. Yes, I missed C, but we'll come back to C in a moment. We'll move on to E. This very nice steering wheel with the matching fake wood. This it describes as fingertip electronic. Let's have a look. I've lost it a minute. This refers to it as being fingertip speed control, so cruise control, I guess it's telling you as option. And then look at these optional wheels and wheel trims you can get as well. And C was just this sort of flip up sunshine roof you could get. And then the brochure just ends with the rear of the coupe version, as you can see. So there we go, the Ford Fairmont Futura. I have absolutely no memories of this, so very little knowledge on this either, so I do apologise. If anyone does know more about this car, please jot it in the comments. And I think, unless you was in North America in 1982 or the early 80s, you probably wouldn't even know much about this car at all. So there we go. But that is the North American Ford for Ford Fridays. Thank you so much for watching today. Tomorrow we'll be back in Europe with a special edition, so look out for that. But do enjoy your weekend. We'll see you very soon. If you've not done already, please do like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Take care and goodbye.